Mr. Claremont Humphrey has arrived, and he's going to share his story.
Back in November of 2008, I was a liver donor myself to a little girl by the name of Jada Fairman. There are certain steps that you have to take if you want to proceed in this area of donating your liver. I would suggest that you call the Living Donor Liver Office, which is 416-340-4800, extension 7594. They have all the information that you will need that you can be able to be a liver donor to Lydia or anyone else for that matter of fact, because right now we had a flood of emails and calls, and we really can't give you that kind of information that is necessary. So again, I suggest you call the office. They have all the information that is necessary, which is 416-340-4800, extension 7594, and they'll be able to give you full information.
Thank you. Okay, so that ends this part of the press conference. We are scheduling to light the torch at 1:30. So as we finish here, we can do one-on-ones outside, but we have to be at the McDonald's statue by 1:30, and I'm going to get very assertive, making sure everybody's there at 1:30. So we got enough time for everybody to do their one-on-ones, and then we'll make our way to the statue at 1:30. And by the way, Lily's mother is going to be watching the ceremonies from her window at the 10th floor because it's facing directly at the statue. So with your cameras, you can actually see not only Lily's mom, but also the other family's father and other patients that are watching from their window. So with that, we'll break and... Sure, okay.
How many people have responded to Lily's?
Over 100.
Over 100?
Yes.
So, and they're all being checked right now?
As Mr. Humphrey explained, we're just receiving the information. We're going to put that information in the proper hands, which he explained. And then from there, they'll be able to give them the proper steps to take because that's not our field. That's their department. So our department was getting the message out and inspiring people and now collecting the information. Now we're going to pass it on. And that's exactly what we're doing. And there's been over 100.
And you also talked about the government sort of helping to compensate people who are taking that time off to be a living donor. Right now with the bill that was just recently introduced, now that was only to protect their jobs. Am I correct? So are you asking?
I'm asking to go a little bit further. I mean, there's people from Sudbury that it takes a long process, all the testing, all the, accommodations, transportation. And then there's other things that involve besides the job that accumulate expenses. A person's month of time is, they're devoting a whole month. So we should look at the BC model. I think they have it right. And it should be up to about $5,000 in compensation. That's what we're asking the government to put aside a few $1 million, because that would be able to facilitate. We're going to save lives because these are hard-working people that are responding, and they want to do it. They just can't afford to take that month off.
List for liver transplants?
In Ontario, there's over 1,700. In Canada, there's over 4,000.
Is that just for liver?
No, that's all organs. So liver is about a quarter of that percentage or a little bit less.
Could I just add as well with regard to George's appeal that the government legislation also be complemented with financial support. Not only is it the humane thing to do, but it also makes good economic sense as well. If we can accelerate the transplants, it's that much less time that people have to spend under care in our hospital system. And so I think while the government, no doubt, is claiming, particularly during these times, that it's difficult to invest additional funding into this program, the reality is that it actually makes good economic sense to do so.
That's right.
Are you looking to do that eventually, or what about trying to get that federally done?
That's what I would suggest, is take this to the federal government, let them lay out a federal plan for this. Why not? You know, I mean, every province is facing the same thing, so why wait? BC had the right idea because they had an outpouring of live donors at that time, and that weren't because of their work schedule, and they weren't getting compensated, and they found out that they were faced with all these bills when they came home. You know, so they had, so why not take it to the federal government? You know, and Mr. Cleese is right. Saving people from being on the waiting list costs a lot of money. Once they get their liver, they're back in society and they become productive. So it's reforming. It's a good way of reforming the health system.
Do you have a lot of examples of people who wanted to be donors but were not able to do so and actually didn't donate organs because?
Yeah, but I don't want to get into them here. Like in the past 8-9 years, I've run into lots. This has been an ongoing problem, and I've raised it. Everybody that knows that have covered my stories, and I've raised it time and time and time and time again. So hopefully this will be the time to put it into action now, you know.
Alicia, can I ask you, when you found out about the 100 people that have called in and inquired about helping your mother, how did that make you feel?
Well, it's a great feeling because it's not only helping my mother, it's helping other people too out there, and that's what we want to do, right? We want to get the message out there that you can help. So I think it's great. It's really a dream.
I just want to add to that. When I was visiting her mom, Lily, she was pointing out all the other people that needed help.
She was.
She said, make sure you take care of this family. You know, make sure, you know, I'm, you know, it's almost like two worlds. When you're in a hospital and everything that's going on outside, it's like a whole different world. You just, unless you've really been there and know the suffering and pain and all this, you know, but we can do something about it, and that's what's been frustrating me all these years. We can solve this problem, you know. So today I hope is going to be a good day, a great day, and, you know, we'll hope we can get some things done. Is there any other questions?
If you find a donor, how soon could the process take place?
In finding a donor, it could take anywhere between a month to 2 months because for me, it took up approximately a month and a half from the time I started the testing to the time I was ready to be in the operating room. Again, you know, when anyone who's planning and doing so, make sure they go through the proper procedures and finding out the proper things that you have to do because, you know, I did the same thing. I went forward and I had to go through a series of tests and, you know, sometimes at some point, I think what happened with lack of knowledge, people get a little spooked about wanting to do it. So now that we have the knowledge and we have the opportunity to gain the knowledge, so just call the right number and you'll get all the information you need and can step forward.
And is it just the blood type that's the problem?
For the liver, yeah, you if you
Is it just the blood type? So
blood
if
type
someone's
and just the blood type for the liver. I think kidneys and so forth is a different issue altogether. But for liver blood type, and then they make sure you're physically healthy before you proceed.
What about the age to it? 70?
I think it's up to age 60. I'm not 100% sure about that, but again, the office will be able to tell you that.
That's why we encourage people to get the proper information. Okay, so is there any other questions? Because we got 10 minutes to do one-on-ones. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.